All right. Bant manipulation. So Bant manipulation is an archetype that was tier 1.5, tier 1, tier 2, depending on what point you looked at in the season. It's something that's put up results in a smattering of different tournaments. So basically we've got a bunch of ramp creatures here at the bottom end, and then we've got mass manipulation here at our top end as one of our X mana payoffs, along with Hydroid Krasis. Enter the new set, we gain Leyline of Abundance here. So if this is in your opening hand, you start with it on the battlefield. Whenever you tap a creature for mana, you get an extra green. So like, if you thought turn 3 Nissa was obnoxious last season, welcome to more consistent turn 3 Nissas, chat. So now to turn 3 Nissa, you just need Leyline in your opener and then any of your mana creatures to survive. Past that, this doesn't just give us extra mana. This card seems like it's genuinely good because it's also a payoff for having lots of mana because it makes all your creatures bigger. This card notably also works well with Nissa because the lands that Nissa makes into creatures make an extra green with Leyline. And then there's the combo. We've got 3 copies of Gauntlets of Light here, which says pay 3 mana, untap this creature. Gauntlets of Light with Leyline of Abundance and any or either of these mana creatures here generates infinite mana because you tap this. Is it just 2? No, that's not quite right. It's 3 to untap, so it's a little bit more work than that, right? You need Incubation. It's only Incubation Druid, or if you had 3 ley lines, right? If you had 3 ley lines on Paradise Druid, so that would work, right? Or Animated Temple Garden. Yeah, because Animated Temple Garden taps for white, and then this gives it 1, and then this gives it 1. Interesting. All right, so let's do it. I am not convinced that the infinite mana combo is good in here, but I do think the green Leyline in general seems really sweet in this deck. And trying to slot that combo into a deck that wants to play the other cards anyways seems reasonable. Can this deck turn to Nissa? No. Technically, yes. Technically, you could turn to Nissa. You can go turn 1 Elf, a bunch of ley lines, and then turn 2 cast Nissa. Did Stream Decker not update? Dang it, Stream Decker. Okay, so I had set it as the Stream Decker, but Stream Decker doesn't allow the word and doesn't, so the Stream Decker, and this is something I really need to talk to them because they need to fix this, use a different thing. The banned words that Stream Decker uses for deck list names, it doesn't use specific words. So if a banned name is contained somewhere in another word, it bans the word. Like, for instance, I can't put Narset in a deck name because Arse is in the middle of Narset. I can't steal that one, chat. It's immune. Is standard still just a do bigger things than you format? Likely. We'll see. Rude. It's a 3/3. 4, 5, 6. Oh, we're dying. Why not gobble up the Spellbreaker? Why am I not trading 2 of my lands for their creature when I have cards in my hand that cost infinite mana? Not to be a downer, but I would not be surprised if this set doesn't meaningfully change which decks are good from last season. And anybody who was playing last season is painfully aware that the decks that were good last season were kind of rancid to play against. So I would be... This card's probably not good enough here. Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. This card's going to replace Null Hide in a lot of decks. Lyra seems fine here. Binding seems fine here. Maybe this is fine to just trade with things. Manipulation's kind of expensive. Krasis probably goes over the top plenty. Especially if one of their bombs is Shifting Ceratops. Manipulation becomes worse. Yep. You can also find it at bit.ly/deckq for short. So this hand would like an untapped land, but it's pretty good, so I'm definitely going to keep it. That is, that's a strong curve. That is a strong curve. Do I just play Ceratops? I think I just play Ceratops, right? I mean, yeah, the fact that this is like an aggressive ramp spell is like pretty good. I could have farted the Druid, that's 2. That's true. It doesn't block the Ripjaw Raptor well, though, because even though they bounce, my opponent would get to draw a card, which is not ideal for me. Well, now we're farting the Druid. Now we're gonna fart the Druid. Sorry, I was chewing. I was excited visually. You didn't need me yelling, we did it. That is infinite mana. That is in fact infinite mana. That's how we do. Alright. One of your finest mana dorks, please. One of your finest mana dorks, please. My devoted druid is tingling after that. I've watched the stream enough that I can clearly hear we did it in my head. God bless. That's what I like to hear. Veil of Summer is really, really good. That card's awesome. Notably, Veil of Summer also counters mass manipulation for 1 mana. It's Dispel if Dispel drew a card. Because green's the color that draws cards in Magic, so naturally the green Dispel draws a card. Yeah, it counters Thought Erasure and draws a card too. It's quite absurd. All right, we have an abundance of riches.
You just let me know if you're up for round 2.
I look at this like, we messed things up so hard with Teferi, we had to print a 1-mana counterspell that cantrips to have a chance at fixing it. Yeah, you wanna talk about power creep slowly sliding up. Yep. Looks like they're playing something close to the Abzan hero deck we're gonna play later today.
I am not going to sit this one out. There goes nothing.
We did not win match 1. We got thoroughly dumpstered in the second game. Yikes. You keep being you, I'll keep being here. Thanks for the half a year, let it rip. I'm gonna be here for as long as the internet will have me. I think we've died again, chat. This deck feels solidly like this archetype did last season, which just has major ramp deck problems. Just like, all dressed up and nowhere to go here. Just no payoff for our thing. Like, if you look at this deck, we have 25 lands, and then we have 12 mana creatures, and then we have 4 Leyline of Abundance. So that's 25 plus 16. There's 41 pieces of mana in this deck. Like that's an absurd amount of mana. And then to top that off, we have cards like Gauntlet of Light here that don't really actually do anything. And then like Teferi's not a payoff, he's just a cantrip. So if you look at this, I've got, you know, 12 cards out of 60 that like actually do something in my deck. I don't even know how I really want to sideboard here. Like, I guess I need Prison Realm to, like, have a chance to be interactive. Unchecked hero runs away with the game really quickly. I mean, blocking's not even super meaningful. Because, like, blocking, they just don't attack with their hero, and then their hero goes wide around us. Hey, what's going on, Polar Scribe? Thank you for the 20 months. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Hope your Wednesday is treating you well. We're gonna have one of our payoffs this game, so maybe Nissa can run things down for us. Yeah, the London Mulligan is truly wonderful. I am super happy that Wizards didn't listen to all the whiny Modern players that were complaining it was gonna ruin their format, and they just like gave us the quality of life change that is the London Mulligan. Yeah, I agree. Modern's already a dumpster fire. Embrace it.
Don't worry, I got this.
What does this attack mean? We have like a moment of craving? Or like, that's a misclick? It must have been a misclick. Must have been a misclick. Yeah, it could have been possibly forgetting the Landhead Vigilance. I could see that. That's very true. The Leyline decks get better against Hagak with the Linda Mulligan for sure. In the same true for Hagak in answering the Leyline deck? Not exactly. So, remember, the Hagak deck needs to not only have its answer to Leyline, but it also needs... I think I just bought him this. Let's do... Now, my deck is like 40% mana. I'm gonna bottom a land. Or like 66% mana. So, the Hagak deck... While it can find its answer to Leyline by mulliganing, it also needs to have cards to just play Magic past that too, right? So it's not just good enough to say, hey, I have my answer to Leyline and my mana for it. Like, if you mulligan to 5 to find those two things, like, you only have 3 other cards left, right? Hot take. Hagak is fine, and it's the best thing to happen to Modern in a long time. Hagak is the best thing to happen to Modern since Splinter Twin was legal.
Glad to be
Moderns wanted Hagak since they banned Twin.
make myself scarce.
Quote me.
Seek shelter in my stewardship.
What makes it good for Modern? Having one unfair deck push out a majority of the other unfair decks makes the format more hospitable to fair interactive Magic. The biggest issue with fair decks in Modern is that they can't keep up with the variety of unfair decks that exist. So if Hagak pushes a lot of the non-graveyard decks out of the format, the fair decks can just play 7 or 8 graveyard hate cards and, like, have a chance.
I hope you've said your goodbyes already.
Alright, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I just Krasis for 8 here. What is Hagak? Hagak is a card that was printed in the Modern Horizons Direct to Modern set that came out recently. That created a new very angry, aggressive graveyard combo deck in the format. So if you're not someone who plays Modern, you don't need to worry about it. It's not legal in Standard. It's never going to be legal in Standard. Hagak is the turducken of bad design mechanics, and you can quote me on that. That's quite the statement. Hagak is the turducken of bad design. Oh, Burgle. Happy Wednesday to you. It's always good to have you in here. Alright, turn 3 Nissa, turn 3 Nissa. I protect that which cannot protect itself. So, their Nissa's dead, right? I just like playtime Raveler, bounce their thing, attack their Nissa for 6. So I have untapped a forest to play the other druid. Yes. Yes, I definitely should have.
this.
This is actually, I don't know why I shocked myself there. This game, I feel like, is a pretty good example of one of the things that makes games kind of rancid in this format, or last season. The mid-range games are they're just so swingy, right? Like between Nissa and Manipulation and Command the Dread Horde, you get behind very quickly, and there's no coming back, basically. My opponent concurs. Nexus, thank you for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Especially with a card like Paradise Druid help enabling fast Nissas. Like, you just can't do much about it. Yeah, the best cards are so messed up when they resolve. There's frequently no coming back for it. And this card has pushed counter spells out of the format. So the cards that naturally would combat the types of swingy, frustrating gameplay that is generated in this format are unplayable in large part due to Teferi Time Raveler's omnipresence in the format. So this card pushes out the things that would normally be checking these style of effects. Do I want Negate in this matchup for their Nissas and mass manipulations? Probably. I feel like I do. At least some. If you think Baby Tef killed counterspells, the new green counterspell outright stops the grave of counterspells. Well, so, but the thing that's important to note here, there's a Lotus Field in my deck. That's something to note. This card should probably not be in my deck. If this card was like any other land tier, I'd be super happy. The thing to note is that there's a really big difference between giving green a card that's naturally naturally anti-counterspell, an anti-counterspell card, and giving blue-white the anti-counterspell card, right? Like there's a little bit of a difference between doing those two things. Or Esub to say this deck is bad for all the reasons you've said before about ramp decks. Yeah, I'd be inclined to believe you. Oh, my opponent doesn't have a Nissa. It's unfortunate for them. Lotus Field animated combos. Okay, I accept your presence. I accept your premise. So, do I play into Frilled Mystic here? I don't think I do, right? I think I just activate this turn. I think I just activate this turn. So, multiple core sets are not something that's new to Magic. In fact, we've had multiple core sets for a while. Last time we had core sets, there were multiple core sets legal at the same time. This is not a new phenomenon. Ah, they took the bait, chat. One could probably in fact argue that I was a master at baiting. Did it seriously just float white mana? Did it seriously just float white mana? Why would it possibly float white mana? Why? My only other card is green! You're killing me, Smalls! You're killing me! Ugh. Listen, Auto Tapper, I am arguably one of your staunchest defenders, but that was not okay. That was not okay. Theo Z Gaming, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around.
Rise, my elemental.
Well, I mean... So, this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think I Entrancing Melody... I think I Entrancing Melody their Incubation Druid here. And then just start hammering Leyline of Abundance for my team. Yeah, they can just tap their land, though. I guess the land is bigger. Didn't matter. Got it. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can activate this. I think we're probably dead here. I guess if we rip a Mass Manipulation, we could be okay. But the fact that they burned a Negate on me taking their 3/3 kind of says to me they have another counterspell. The random cat noises are gonna get annoying. Can I disable the cat? Does anybody know? Is that an option? It's in your profile. God bless. The nice twin. Thank you for the 2/3 of a year's part. I appreciate it. Welcome back. There's a cat on the board over here. See, look at it. Look at it. Look at the hearts. You disable the cat, I'm unsubbing. So this is 10. I'm 1 mana off of double activating this. And this is alting next turn. I guess if that alts next turn, I could maybe be okay still if I draw Mass Manipulation. Big Beanie Cap, thank you for the 9 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I feel like we should call the cat friends. Because we got the cat instead of a friends list. What do we think? Does that make sense? If we call the cat friends?
I shall listen.
Or Buddy? Buddy's like a real name. We could call him Buddy the Cat. Definitely Buddy the Cat. I think you have 12 mana. Well, let's all count together. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. So sounds like I counted correctly. Sounds like 15 mana.
Rise, my elemental friend.
All right, the cat's been named Buddy. There you go. People wanted to name the cat. The cat's name is now Buddy. But I feel like you have 16, yep. I'm all alone, there's no one here beside me. Do. I think I just want all my negates. We'll trim a Teferi. Having a negate to take stop their Mass Manips and their Nissa seems pretty important. Sure. How many years back do the Modern and Legacy formats go? Modern has almost 60 sets in it, and Legacy has every set that's ever been printed in it. Did you reinstall Arena, Dirty Digits? Arena doesn't update via wine. You have to reinstall. Wipe out your wine prefix and create a fresh one. There's no way for Arena to do Modern for like 5 to 10 years. Now, I'd be very surprised if Arena came to Modern anytime soon. In fact, that's why myself and many people were expecting this new Arena Modern format to be popular and successful, and then they were just like, nah, dog, no new sets for you. Just enjoy your same standard format some more.
True power.
So I think we're farting Incubation Druid. Or do I just Nissa? Nah, I don't want my Nissa to die. Yeah, we're just gonna fart Incubation Druid this turn.
Harness the elements.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! The adapt is always on the right side, chat. The adapt is always on the right side. Oh no! Oh no! I've made a huge mistake. I've made a huge mistake. Did it untap? Did anybody see asking the real question?
Shall conquer you.
I don't know. We don't have a blue source, so I don't think it really matters anyways, but... Alright, in the middle. Stuck in the middle with you. Doo-doo, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. You know, I really have to say... I found myself missing this part of Magic. I played a lot of Underlords in the last week instead of Magic, and having 4 cards in my hand that I'm completely unable to cast as a feature is something that's really I've missed it. The Druid doesn't tap for blue if none of my lands tap for blue. When your cards rotate in the fall, they are effectively becoming useless with the lack of support for the new format. It's just, Wizards now has something that they can point and say, look, they're technically not useless. There's this completely unsupported, uninteresting thing over here you could do instead. Because they don't want to give you anything for your rotated cards. My mom heard you singing once and told me you should not quit your day job. I said back to her, this is his day job. Keep up the great work. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. With Teferi plus Entrancing Melody, we could eventually take this Gideon, right? Which is kind of sweet. I mean, Historic is worse than Frontier 2.0 because Frontier at least had a lot of interesting sets that you could brew with, so it was a sweet casual format. Like, Historic's not even a sweet casual format. That's true, assuming we live that long. Again, just like a whole lot of ramp and not a lot of actual payoffs here. I think I'm supposed to take this token and just like hope to survive. I guess I could play Time Raveler and bounce the. Yeah, I guess I just play Time Raveler and bounce the token.
I can no longer stand by and watch. No, I am not making this up as I go.
Alright, alright. I guess I could have melodied there too, technically. Maybe I'm supposed to play the Breeding Pool tapped and use the Druid to cast this so I can play the Forest next turn painlessly. Next turn I have 8 mana, so I can play this for 6, but that might not be enough with the Gideon pounding down our door.
I will lend you my strength.
Oh yeah, the Gideon's on 7, right? Yeah. And this build doesn't have Ripjaw. Can I not concede? All right, there we go. This build doesn't have Ripjaw Raptor or anything like that in the sideboard, right? We have Thorn Lieutenant and some Brontodons. This is pretty slow. I have this. I have these. Yeah, am I just supposed to cut the combo because it's just like clunky and bad? Probably. Just pull down. You think I want Pulse? I guess I could maybe be trading off my creatures. Like, Pulse. I mean, like, am I supposed to... I think I'm supposed to keep this. I do need more than 2 lane lines if we just draw with the opener anyways. That's a good point. Hey, what's going on, Reason? Thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I guess I just do this and kill. It's like kill your vampire token, draw a card, gain 2. Save the prison realm in case they have a Gideon on 3 again.
I suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
They're eventually going to pop this off, and this can trade with the 2-1 for now. Alright, that's a Krasis. So we get this down, and this is 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we Krasis for 5, and we can actually start activating Leyline of Abundance, which is nice. I guess I'm waiting a turn on this since I have the Krasis, and this is worth 2 mana. Just gonna play this for max. We might Teferi bounce the Krasis. If we don't draw another payoff here. We drew another payoff. Alright, well now I'm gonna Teferi bounce the Knight.
Sorry I'm late.
Opponent never really got off the ground there. Seemed fine. Ramp deck. Ramp deck's really good when it has a good mix of both ramp spells and payoffs for it. The problem is the way this deck is constructed. This deck's basically cut potential payoffs to fit in the cute combo, which I think gives you just too many hands that ultimately don't really end up doing much for you. There's a max button I just totally didn't even notice. We're going to have to pay special attention next time. We've been wanting that for a while. That's a wonderful quality of life addition. And that's such a great example of, like, why not having a meaningful non-rotating format on Arena is so sad. Like, yesterday's gaffe with the release aside, like, Arena's been very reasonable software, especially coming from Magic Online, and, like, to be forced to have Standard be the only meaningful constructed option is just really disappointing. One of the reasons why Magic has such a strong legacy of being one of the longest running card games that's been so successful is because it's so many there's so many different ways to play it, and not giving more people more ways to play with their cards on Arena is a mistake. Everyone couldn't log into Arena till almost like 10 hours after the patch was supposed to be done yesterday. They had some kind of regional DNS issue. I think I just take this in. It might be right to trade here. Yeah, possibly. It's tough to know exactly. So this is triple ramp, so we'll be able to Krasis for 4 on turn 3, which is pretty good, especially with the second in our hand. This is a good example of an ideal mix of stuff here. Bunch of early acceleration, a couple of lands, and then a couple of payoffs. Good distribution of what we're looking to see with a deck like this.
I am here to aid in the assault. I believe in you, friend.
Was there an announcement on Historic beyond the set still being it? There was not. So yeah, I think we just stay the course in Krasis here. It's a little painful though. I can't block the Gideon profitably with this. I didn't block the token because I didn't realize they were attacking with it. Because I was reading chat and clicking at the same time. Because there was, I guess, in my head there was no reason for them to attack with it, but it gains lifelink, so it's a free attack. So I should be 1 point of health higher.
Share in my light.
How long did it take for Extended or Modern to get off the ground? Well, Extended, you don't know your history, so, like, that's completely unrelated. But Modern, when it was released, had, like, 20-some sets in it, I believe, right? Like, Modern had a really deep card pool when it started, right? Can anybody get me an exact number? I know there was a lot in it, but can someone give me a specific definition of a lot? 27? I think I'm gonna go ahead and send this here. And then my plan is to block a little bit and fart this. And then get these Krasis going. And then this can hopefully kill this next turn. Modern didn't start when 8th edition was introduced, though. So 8th edition is the oldest set in Modern, but the Modern wasn't created when 8th edition was printed. Alright, so I do this here and this here. And then I activate this. Yeah. My memory was correct. So this kills Gideon. And then I need to decide what this Hydroid Krasis is happening for. So I've got 4. Is it crazy to just play this as a 4/4 again and, like, leave Incubation Druid and this back? I think that's the plan. That leaves me dead on board, though, right? So it's probably not a good plan. I could cast it for 4 using this and these, and then I have this, this, and this. That doesn't leave me dead on board. Yeah, I think that's my plan. So I can play Incubation Druid here as another blocker. I can put a tapped land down. And for the record, there's nothing wrong with liking Standard or preferring it to a non-rotating format. Like, there are a ton of people, myself included, who enjoy formats that change. But there's also a number of people in Magic who like that consistency and knowing that that deck that they love playing is always going to be there. And again, I just can't stress enough that the biggest strength of Magic as a game is just the simple fact that it's able to be so many different things in so many different ways. What one person likes about the game can be completely different than what someone else likes about the game. So these are going to be attacking as 6/5s next turn. Oh, Nissa makes me count. So I can tap this, and this, and this, and then I can play Nissa, which gives me 6 mana here, and another blocker.
Be wary of the ground you walk
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can put this into play tapped, and I can still fart one of these Incubation Druids. And the goal here is to survive, so we can stick this Hydroid Krasis and gas up. Modern was introduced in August 2012, which includes sets from 8th up to core 2012. Yeah, someone said 2027 sets. Nah, I don't think I need to kill the history. I think I can just chump block out of the night tokens this turn. Gideon making the Sky Marcher indestructible is really annoying. Wow, that would be... I would like this attack, I think. Maybe? I don't know. I don't actually know. Maybe I should have counted before I said I like this attack. Alright, so blockers. Let's stack 2 of these. Ideally, I want these Krasis to live so they can kill Gideon. But then my Incubation Druid can't survive anything. I'd like to put this and this in front of here, so I kill this and it only kills one of these. And then I have to chump block the rest of these, so I go chump, chump, chump. Right? So I'm gonna kill this, I'm gonna kill these. So this will die, these 2 will die, these will be fine, these 2 die, one of these dies. And blocked, blocked, block, 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 block. Yeah, we're the blockers, so we gotta do the math. I'm going to 1, but I've got this Krasis in my hand. So I definitely have to send these this way, right? And then I have 4, 5, I have 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 mana available here. But I also need enough blockers to make sure I don't die on the back swing. So I think I want to just do 3 plus 9. I think the conservative play is cast this for X is 10. And then leave this up, and these 2 up. I think that's the conservative play. And then I just pass here. I'm just gonna pass here. So, like, I could have taken a number of more aggressive lines there, but I felt like I was so far ahead that the only way I lose is if, like, I take an aggressive line and they draw something really good that I'm not thinking about. So, I think being conservative there, just guaranteeing that I get to, giving myself the most likely chance to get to untap with a pile of mana is super, super meaningful. No, like, if they game, like, I could probably set myself up to, like, kill them in, like, 2 turns as opposed to, like, 3 maybe, but every turn the game goes on, I'm more and more likely to win, so I feel like being super aggressive is not ideal there. Also, it's worth pointing out that those post-board games that we won there were games where I kind of cut the infinite mana combo because it's just too slow and clunky against aggro, which again is probably indicative of the fact that it's probably not great in this deck. Honestly, I feel like the ley lines are probably worthwhile trying without the infinite mana combo, just because, like, I feel like that enchantment, I'd rather just have it be a payoff. I feel like that game we just won there was an example of a game we won just as we would have won it as the pre-M20 version of this deck, basically. Gargoyle, thanks for explaining the thought process as you're playing. Explaining your decisions, one of the reasons I keep coming back. Well, thanks for continuing to come back. I appreciate you keeping me around, Gargoyle. Probably a game where we're going to be too slow on the draw. And this deck doesn't really have much respect for red aggro in the sideboard. I don't even know that blue finale is very good. I feel like I'd rather just have it be something that impacts the board. My body is ready to untap with neither of these mana creatures and just get slaughtered here. Oh, Lotus Field, you are not good. It's an updated Abzan hero coming up later. Yep, everything listed in the stream chat are things I'm planning to play later. And as always, if you're interested in seeing decks that are in the title of the stream before I get to them today, you can always go to the deck queue on my website, bit.ly/deck queue for short, or go to jeffhoogland.com and click live stream deck queue. Always do our best to be organized around here. I'm just gonna cut these again. It's just too slow and clunky against an aggro deck. Maybe I'm just supposed to play this as a 5/4. I think I'm supposed to play this as a 5/4. Yeah, maybe I trim a couple of Paradise Druids because they're bad against Chain Whirler. Let's give this a try. Sure. Do I plan on streaming more Underlords, or was that a one-day thing? I've actually done a bunch of Underlords. I even added a page for it on my website, Woodwin. I'm not including Underlords in my schedule this week. Man, the bot must have had a crash because we updated a few commands in the bot with extra things yesterday, and none of them stuck. Anywho, I've really been enjoying the Underlords gameplay, and my viewer base has been moderately receptive to it, so I'm gonna be building that into my regular schedule starting next week for sure. I think my plan is to do 2 3-hour segments of Underlords at a minimum per week. It's my rough goal. I was thinking maybe like do Modern 3 days a week in the mornings and do Underlords 2 days a week. We'll see how it lines up. It's also going to depend on like what Standard ends up looking and feeling like, how much Standard we do. Yeah, the TFT command's gone too. The bot must have had a crash yesterday. All the commands are missing. I think I just pulse back my dork here. Three mana gain 6 feels good in this matchup, believe it or not. No blocks. Arena crashed so hard it took out the bot. Well, in addition to Arena having issues, Cloudflare had issues yesterday, which I wonder if those two were related to each other. It's possible those two things were related to each other. Scale of 1 to dead. Where's this Incubation Druid at? Yep. Alright, so we're hoping to draw a forest here so we can cast this and then Entrancing Melody this next turn. Get that, just like we drew it up. So I'm not trading Elf here because I need the 6 mana from the Elf to Melody the Phoenix. This is like one of those games where like the game is kind of close until my opponent draws a Frenzy or a Chandra, and then we get kind of buried. So hoping to fade those for the time being. We're hoping to find a Nissa or another Krasis before my opponent finds one of their payoffs here. Ooh, shifty boy, shifty boy. Boy, ooh, this card's really good. If there's cards, Shifting Ceratops and Veil of Summer might give these green decks a fair shake at competing with Teferi. Maybe. I mean, are there like a bunch of sexual harassment complaints and employees walking out at Valve too? Because that's what the command referring to Riot being an awful company is referencing. It's referencing explicitly their treatment of their employees. Need 2 more mana. So if I wouldn't have lost the Elf, I would have been able to activate this. So a land draw means we get to hit this, which is nice. I'm still mad about HL3. You and a lot of people. Red Rover, let Phoenix come over. Wow, we're still not attacking. That's good for me. Oh, Wide Eye, No Fear. Activate. This does not have Vigilance as a choice, huh? Think I'm supposed to play that? Green is haste, not vigilance, right? This has been a weird game. This game's been a good example of why I think Leyline is probably a reasonable card in this deck without having the extra combo. Wow, just packing it in. And that was impressive. Let's pour one out for Leyline and Shifting Ceratops here, huh? Like I said, if you haven't seen us play Magic right around a set release, the big thing I'm focusing on isn't the specifics about the deck list that I'm playing. It is more so trying to pinpoint which cards for the new set feel good, and then thinking about other possible shells in addition to the one we're playing that they could possibly be good in. So we're looking for just getting a good feeling for everything, not necessarily looking for, hey, is this list perfect? Nice. Did you roll the scrappy item early, Brad? I heard Savit say that if you hit the scrappy item in the first 3 rounds, it's not a terrible composition. Oh, the inventor item. That's what I mean. The inventor item, not Scrappy. The inventor item. The one that explodes. You hit 2x inventor item. Yep, that explains it. Deal Areno. Thorn Lieutenant's a good one here. Yep, I agree, Puppy. It feels like a unique, genuinely good card individually on its own, and 3-mana Teferi just doesn't interact with it. Stone Cold nothing. That's good for me. Feel like this is least likely to die. I don't think I want to shock this in, because they do have Whirly Boy to kill us. I don't want to lose this too, and I don't want to pay 2 life. This is the part where Chain Whirler punches us in the face. Can we pour one out for the foil tokens, by the way? Hats off to the team. This is appreciative. Love it. Nope, they were just getting their hand empty before slamming this. One of the other things, this is a new feature, right? When you mouse over cards that make tokens, they show you the token they make now. I think this is new. I don't remember this happening previously, but I could be wrong. It's a great feature. Yeah, the QOL features in this patch have been great. Like I've said, the bugs with getting the release out yesterday aside, Arena's been awesome. Yeah, this is the very first day we've been playing JMK, because I don't get invited to the special things like happened on Monday, and yesterday everything was down. So I definitely don't have a good grasp of like what I like and what I don't like at the moment. And thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to bump up. Hey, well, thanks for keeping the support on, Johan. I appreciate the 11 months. So, I think I want to fart Incubation this turn. I think I want to fart Incubation rather than play the Ceratops. Yeah, and that's a good note for everyone, too. On my website, magicesports.net. If you are hungry to find the decks that I like as soon as I like them, I'll likely be tweeting them as well. But as I find decks that I like that I think are sweet and reasonably competitive, they'll get posted on the standard decks page on my website, as always. Demir Assassin, thank you for the very generous tier 3 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Lizardio, thank you for the 15 months. Welcome. Someone else actually bought that domain for me. All right, looking for a Hydroid Krasis. Maybe I'm supposed to prison realm this. It was Matman. Experimental Frenzy looking particularly scary here. So, if I fart this, it taps everything else. I think I'm still supposed to. I think I'm still supposed to do that here. Looking like not taking the Steamkin away is going to punish us here. Card is aptly named and frequently runs away with the game. I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 12 mana. But this Frenzy is like just infinite cards out of the opponent's deck. Hopefully they hit a 4-drop on top of their deck. Was there ever a consideration to Prison Realming the Frenzy? So that's not a legal play. Prison Realm is not like Ixalan's Binding or Oblivion Ring. This explicitly only removes creatures and planeswalkers. We've not played the commercial today. I should have set up, I forgot about that yesterday. I was kind of tilted off the face of the planet that we couldn't play Arena yesterday. I didn't set up a nice scene for it. I feel like I should set up a nice OBS scene for it all on its own. Oh no! Oh no, did you just... Why can MTG bot run commercials? Did people actually just get an ad? I don't think MTG bot has that ability. I don't think MTG bot has that ability on my channel. I don't think I gave it permission. Well, subs wouldn't have gotten ads. People who would have gotten an ad won't be able to talk. Hey, George Brad, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate it. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. My dashboard does not imply that an ad was just run. So I think I'd have to give the bot special settings to be able to run an ad. And I never did that, so. One of my buddies paid for a guy in a vegetable costume to create a Hoaglandia ad. I think it was on Fiverr or something like that. Some website where you could. It's funny. Well, I don't know that I'm winning this game. I don't know that I was winning that game, but they timed out, I think. All right, I'll play it in a second, okay? As far as this deck goes, I subbed to say I didn't get an ad. I appreciate it, George. As far as this was concerned, this felt really clunky overall, believe it or not. Leyline of Abundance actually felt pretty reasonable in different situations. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, the fact that this is ramp and also a payoff is really great. And this card's going to be a format staple. I think it's pretty easy to say that this card's going to guaranteed be a format staple. It's individually powerful, and it's going to not get countered, and it's not get bounced by Teferi. So I'm sure we're going to be slotting this into a lot of the green decks that we're playing. All right, let me pull up VLC. At some point, I'll have a proper scene. Oh, there it is.
Don't make your life garbage time. Join us in Hoaglandia today by subscribing to Jeff Hoagland with Twitch Prime today.
Apparently there's a website where people post themselves to make stuff for you, and that was the best, probably the best $10 someone's ever spent for me, so you know. All right, actually, I'm going to kick Arena. I'm not going to do a full sponsor spiel. These people are great. We'll do a full sponsor spiel later. I'm going to restart Arena, though. I don't think we have the audio bug anymore, but the application definitely leaks memory. It's starting to run a little bit slowly. However much got paid for that, it was way too cheap. Yep. All right. Teamer Chandra.